Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we have a special guest today because we're doing Friday the 13th books with characters who have terrible luck. So what do you need more than that?
A black cat.
Spooky the black cat.
Not that black cats are unlucky. It is a myth, but we'll find out by the time we're done.
So Jill and I came loaded with 4-leaf clovers, our lucky horseshoe, not just the rabbit's foot, but the whole rabbit. So we want good luck to combat these bad luck characters. So Jill, what's your first pick?
My first one is about a very unlucky character. This is Jane Ivanovich, Plum Lucky. This is the Stephanie Plum series, number 13.5. It comes in the middle. Looking to get lucky? Stephanie Plum is back between the numbers, and she's looking to get lucky in Atlantic City hotel room in a Winnebago with a brown-eyed stud who has stolen her heart. Stephanie Plum has a way of attracting danger, lunatics, oddballs, bad luck, and mystery men, and no one is more mysterious than the unmentionable Diesel. He's back and hot on the trail of a little man in green pants who's lost a giant bag of money. Problem is, the money isn't exactly lost. Stephanie's grandma, Missouri, has found it, and like any good Jersey senior citizen, she's hightailed it in a Winnebago to Atlantic City and hit the slots. With Luna and Connie in tow, Stephanie attempts to bring grandma home, but the luck of the Irish is rubbing off on everyone. Lula's found a job modeling plus-size lingerie. Connie's found a guy. Diesel's found Stephanie, and Stephanie has found herself in over her head with a caper involving thrice stolen money, a race horse, a car chase, and a bad case of hives. Plum Lucky is an all-you-can-eat buffet of thrills, chills, shrimp cocktail, plus-size underwear, and scorching hot men. It's a between-the-numbers treat no Ivanovich will ever miss. And Stephanie Plum, I'm told by my Ivanovich fans, is very unlucky and has like a lot of like weird things happen.
She has a lot of mishaps happen to her. I read about half that series, and she's got a lot going on all the time.
That's a good one to read if you want to think about luck.
My first pick goes way back in time, and this is the Odyssey by Homer. If the Iliad is the world's greatest war epic, then the Odyssey is literature's grandest evocation of every man's journey through life. Odysseus' reliance on his wit and willingness for survival in his encounters with divine and natural forces during his 10-year voyage home to Ithaca after the Trojan War is at once a timeless human story and an individual test of moral endurance. In the myths and legends that are retold here, Fagles has captured the energy and poetry of Homer's original in a bold contemporary idiom and given us an Odyssey to read out loud, to savor, and to treasure for its sheer lyrical mastery. Homer intended a lot of trouble for his hero, and the poor guy suffers captivity, shipwrecks, sirens, cannibals, hungry giants, a vengeful witch goddess, and plenty more in the course of his travels. So this is an Odyssey to delight both the classicist and the public at large. So take a peek at Homer's The Odyssey and our unlucky hero.
Took a little pause to go find that loose cat in the library. My next pick is The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. Cordy Ledbetter is the unluckiest person I've ever read about in my entire life. By the end of this book, I was screaming about him and the stuff that was happening to him.
I've got that on hold.
And not in a good way. Like, not in a good way. It's not a funny way like Stephanie Plum. It's tragic, but Cordy Ledbetter is struggling. New fatherhood, the loss of his job, a growing secret addiction have thrown his marriage to his beloved Emily into a tailspin. And that's before he causes the tragedy that tears his family apart. Sentenced to prison, Corby struggles to survive on the inside, where he bears witness to frightful acts of brutality, but also experiences small acts of kindness and elemental kinship with a prison librarian who sees his light in some of his fellow offenders, including a tender-hearted cellmate and a troubled teen desperate for a role model. Buoyed by them and his mother's enduring faith in him, Corby begins to transcend the boundaries of his confinement, sustained by the hope and mercy of reconciliation might still be possible. Can his crimes be forgiven by those he loves? So, if you want to read about a guy that's probably got worse luck than anybody you've ever read about.
Oh, gee, I got that on hold, so I didn't realize that. My second pick is Carrie by Stephen King from 1974. A modern classic, Carrie introduced a distinctive new voice in American fiction. The story of misunderstood high school Carrie White, her extraordinary telekinetic powers, and her violent rampage of revenge remains one of the most barrier-breaking and shocking novels of all time. Make a date with terror and live the nightmare that is Carrie. High school is hard, but it's even harder when you're an outsider and a target for bullies. It's harder still when your mother is a rabid fundamentalist who refuses to teach you about your own body. And it's even harder when it turns out you're the telekinetic butt of a truly heinous prank that inspires to burn the whole town to the ground.
Oh,
so,
yes.
One of my favorite Stephen Kings. Love the book, love the movie. But unlucky Carrie.
Very unlucky. She does have revenge, though.
I know.
So this is like, if you feel like you're bad luck yourself.
Oh, boy.
This is The Bad Luck Bridesmaid by Allison Rose Greenberg. It's official. Zoe Marks is the cursed bridesmaid, and no engagement can survive. 10 years, 3 Empire waistresses, and 0 brides have walked down the aisle. After strike 3, Zoe is left wondering if her own ambivalence towards marriage has rubbed off on those she loves. And when her building mistrust of matrimony culminates in turning down a proposal from her perfect all-American boyfriend, Rylan Harper II, she and Rylan are both left heartbroken, leaving Zoe to wonder what is it exactly what tying the knot that makes her want to run in the opposite direction. Enter Hannah Green, Zoe's best friend, who announces that she's marrying a guy she just met, cue eye roll, at a castle in a gorgeous romantic Ireland, where Rylan will be in attendance and Zoe will be a bridesmaid. It'll all be fine. Okay, the definition is not fine. Determined to turn her luck around, Zoe accepts her role and vows to get Hannah down the aisle, all while praying her best friend's wedded bliss will allow her to embrace marriage and get Rylan back. But as the weekend goes on, Zoe is plagued with more questions than answers. Can you be a free spirit yet still want a certain future? Can you have love and be loved on your terms? And how do you wrangle a bossy falcon into doing your bidding? Published in 2022, The Bad Luck Bridesmaid.
Well, my third pick is Andy Weir's The Martian. I know there's a lot of buzz with Project Hail Mary right now, but I went back to The Martian. This was published in 2011. 6 days ago, astronaut Mark Watney became one of the first people to walk on Mars. Now he's sure he'll be the first to die there. After a dust storm nearly kills him and forces his crew to evacuate while thinking him dead, Mark finds himself stranded and completely alone with no one to even signal Earth that he's alive. And even if he could get word out, his supplies would be gone long before a rescue could arrive. Chances are, though, he won't have time to starve to death. The damaged machinery, unforgiving environment, or plain old human air are much more likely to kill him first. But he isn't ready to give up yet. Drawing on his own ingenuity, his engineering skills, and a relentless, dogged refusal to quit, he steadfastly confronts one seemingly insurmountable obstacle after the next. This character really has bad luck. Every time he solves a problem, like growing potatoes with his own poop, another disaster occurs and sends him right back to square one. Explosions, airlock tears, rocket disintegrations, and electronic shortages all conspire to leave Mark on Mars. So, The Martian by Andy Weir.
It's really bad luck to be on Mars. Maybe he's the unluckiest person in fiction.
Oh, goodness.
My next one is The Bad Luck Bride by Laura Lee Garkey.
You got a theme going here, Jill.
Yeah, don't get married on Friday the 13th. In this dazzling Victorian romance from New York Times bestselling author, one unlucky lady believes her fate is finally changing until the rake that broke her heart returns to town. Third time's a charm for Lady Kay Matheson. It better be. Her first engagement was a failed elopement, the second ruined by gossip about the first. Resigned to be a disgraced spinster, no one is more surprised than Kay when an American millionaire offers for her hand. Just when she's convinced she will finally make it down the aisle, the scoundrel who broke her heart arrives with his own fiancée. Devlin Sharp has finally become a success. He has wealth, connections, and a lovely bride-to-be, and he won't let an old flame derail his hard work. But it turns out time has not dampened his grudge towards Kay, or the desire sparking between them. And one searing kiss threatens to ruin their wedding plans and their futures, and make Kay the bad luck bride all over again. Bad luck bride.
Fourth pick's an unusual pick. It's Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis, which was published back in 1915. And I have the graphic novel version of this. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a giant insect. He was laying on his hard, as it was, armor-plated back, and when he lifted his head a little, he could see his dome-like brown belly divided into stiff, arched segments on top of the bed quilt. He could hardly keep position without sliding off. His numerous legs, which were pitifully thin compared to the rest of his bulk, waved helplessly before his eyes. With its startling, bizarre, yet surprisingly funny first opening, Franz Kafka begins his masterpiece, The Metamorphosis. It's the story of a young man who, transformed overnight into a giant beetle-like insect, becomes an object of disgrace to his family, an outsider in his own home, and a quintessentially alienated man. It's a harrowing, though absurdly comic, meditation on human feelings of inadequacy, guilt, and isolation. It's its place as one of the most widely read and influential works of the 20th century fiction. W.H. Auden wrote, Kafka is important to us because his predicament is the predicament of modern man. Poor Gregor may have it the worst of anyone on my list, from traveling salesman to monstrous vermin. So the metamorphosis. Imagine waking up and you have become an insect.
I love Kafka. I've actually been thinking about him lately. I need to read something by him. Maybe that'll be it. So this next one is, I don't know, it's just an unfortunate person and unfortunate to meet her. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. No one's ever told Eleanor that life should be better than fine. Meet Eleanor Oliphant. She struggles with appropriate social skills and tends to stay exactly what she's thinking. Nothing is missing in her carefully timetabled life of avoiding social interactions, where weekends are punctuated by frozen pizza, vodka, and phone chats with mommy. But everything changes when Eleanor meets Raymond, the bumbling and deeply unhygienic IT guy from her office. When she and Raymond together save Sammy, an elderly gentleman who has fallen on the sidewalk, the three become the kinds of friends who rescue one another from the lives of isolation they have been living. And it's Raymond's big heart that will ultimately help Eleanor find a way to repair her own profoundly damaged one. So it is more of the story of hope, but with some misfortune in it.
My last pick comes from 2022, and this is Showstopper by Peter Lovesay. The cast and crew of a hit British TV show is rumored to be cursed. But are these spooky deaths coincidences, or are they murder? It's up to Bath detective Peter Diamond to find out. Since the start of the hit TV show Swift in 2013, its cast and crew have been plagued by misfortune. First, a star actress pulls out of the show before it even begins. And by 2019, there have been multiple injuries by fall, by fire, by drowning. There's been 2 deaths and 2 missing person cases. The popular media around Bath, England quickly decides this show is cursed. But is it as simple as that? Is someone behind these fishy incidents? Peter Diamond, chief superintendent of the Avon and Somerset Murder Squad, is on the case, and he'll start by looking for the 2 currently missing men. But while the investigation is underway, the producer of the show goes missing, complicating already complex matters even further. Unfortunately, Peter's boss, Georgina, is pushing retirement on him. He may be forced to retire if he can't solve the case. Will this be the end for Peter Diamond? This is actually the 21st book in the Peter Diamond series.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is a murder mystery series that leaves readers guessing at all the turns. And this one is about the cursed TV show.
A cursed TV show. You can't even get away from it watching TV. Well, we hope you survive this Friday the 13th and nothing bad happens to you.
Yes, we hope you have much better luck than our characters. Like I said, Jill and I are armed with clovers and Luck of the Irish and horseshoes and the whole rabbit.
We do have to chase down a black cat in the library now.
We thank you for watching our videos. You can find us on the Kimberly Public Library website, Facebook page, and YouTube channel. And happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Bye.